welcome to another Daily Digest video. I am Ross Merriam, and today I am playing a sort of crossover deck. We've got multiple tribes going on, fairies and wizards. So there's a lot of cards that actually have both creature types. We have Spellstutter, Sprite, and Vendilion Click, both powerful cards and staples of fairy decks in the past. And now we have payoffs from both of them in Spellstutter and Wizard's Lightning. Snapcaster Mage and Delver sort of rounded out this blue-red tempo deck with plenty of reach. And hopefully it's good, because this is my kind of deck. Unfortunately, this hand is not good with no colored mana, so I will send it back. And this hand looks fine. We've got an early bolt if our opponent's aggressive, and hopefully these spell stutters get to do something. And this card can do a lot of stuff too. So I'll keep this one. Do I want a third land? I don't actually think I do. I only have the 1/3 drop in hand. Not a lot of threes in my deck. My deck does not really want to flood, so I'm going to bottom that. I should find another land in the next 3 or 4 draws. We're down a card already, so flooding is even more brutal. Say cantrip, yep. I kind of wish I was able to spell stutter that, but hard to cast a 2-drop before your opponent casts a 1-drop. And they put both on the bottom. That's good. Ooh, another lightning bolt. So even if my opponent doesn't play something, I can spell stutter on their turn 3. I am going to run out the 1/1 because I do want to start clocking them. Ugh. Jessica opponent has a lot of setup here while we're making our land drops. Search is really nice on the play. Now they get to sit here, just trade with our creatures. And leave it on top. This is not going well. We have a lot of removal in this hand, and that is not great in this matchup when we're not able to get... Oh, I'm so bad. I was in the middle of talking and just wanted to skip through so I could finish my thought, and missed my opportunity to actually spell stutter something. So that's not good. They split the scry there, and I'm going to look like an idiot, because I'm definitely still running out this spell stutter. Okay. No reason to hide the fact that I'm not good. And... okay, well, it didn't hit a land drop, but hopefully I can start getting some damage in here, because I just have so much reach. Take 1. I mean, they're at 16. I have 3 bolts in my hand. Not 15, so it's not going to take much. I do like this mana leak too. That'll help stop a planeswalker like a Teferi from coming down. And mill a mountain, so they must have a land drop for this turn. Queued up already. Alright, 5 cards in graveyard. Okay, this one I can counter. Spellstutter Sprite. They Serum Visions last turn and left a card on top and then cracked that fetch land. Didn't they? So that's awkward. Pretty sure they split the scry. The first one they left both on bottom. Yeah. Well, weird. Okay, they have a bolt to trade. So we've got our 2 for 1. They're going to be able to flip the Azcanta next turn, though. And that is no bueno. And I'm getting punished for scrying that land at the bottom. Because we're not going to win a card advantage game here against the Azcanta. I really would like a counter spell to be able to bolt plus counter, or like a land to do that. Or just cast the Obstructionist. They keep that one on top. Are they going for a Teferi here? I would love that. Let's I want to remand to cantrip and find a land, but next turn if they go for it again and I mana leak and they counter, that's kind of weak, but they're still not activating Azcanta. I'm definitely going to remand. Hopefully they don't have Spell Snare, which some of these Jeskai decks play one of now. They do not. So sweet. So they have 3 cards in hand, one of which we know is Teferi. Still no land. You're killing me, deck. Okay, I'm going to hold up Mana Leak for this Teferi. They're down to 12 at this point, and I have 9 points of burn in my hand. Okay, not going for it, so let's send the Wizard's Lightning upstairs. Not much I can do about a Helix or a Snap Bolt or something here. I guess Snap Bolt, I can Mana Leak the Bolt half, but... Oh, no, I can't. They have Escanta. Okay, going to 9. Wow. Okay, well, maximally punished for putting that land on the bottom. But we're still kind of in this. Ooh, they're giving us a land. Okay. Well, they're going to be able to Escanta here, which is kind of rough. There are 2... And now they're at 7. So, because they can make an 8th land drop next turn and Teferi through the Mana Leak, I'm just going to play Delver Secrets. And bolt them. Are they crypticking this? No, didn't think so. They should be able to find a removal spell. Not hitting land drops here was rough. If I'd been able to get the Obstructionist down or do some other stuff, get this Delver down to the counter spell, I would have been in a lot better shape. Maybe would be able to sneak this through. Sneak these burn spells through. But now my Mana Leaks are pretty bad. Not countering the Serum Visions was definitely bad. They opt to the bottom there. So maybe we can get an attack in. Yeah, land this Teferi. And even if they don't have a land drop here, they'll get to activate Escanta. But if they do that, they might just die. Let's bolt them before they have Cryptic up. Okay. Got them to 6. Ooh, they're definitely using their mana for spells. Ugh, Helix was not what I wanted. Okay, we're in rough shape now. Yeah, now we draw this land that doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to end up clicking myself here to try to cycle away one of these Mana Leaks. But we are pretty far behind. They're drawing a good number of lands, though. Don't think I can afford to try to like counter the Escanta here. I need to get pressure and find more bolts. Main deck Dispel? Ugh. Okay. Let's play a V-Click. Watch it get Cryptic commanded. Cryptic here is especially good because they like still have Dispel up. This is not great. Ooh, okay. Target myself. This snap, another Helix, gross. Well, I'm very dead. It's like went on this burn plan and couldn't implement it fast enough. They're just activating Escanta interface. Wow, still not untapping the Escanta. Come on, buddy, don't you know that's how this works? Okay, we'll play it out for another turn or two. See if they brick really hard. But at 12 life, it is going to be really hard to kill them. Not overly concerned with this Grim, nor really should they. Oh, they just have a path. Okay, I've seen enough. Okay. In this matchup, I want to go long, so let's bring in that one, and that one, better threats, and some more counter spells, and gonna bring out some burn spells and some Grims. So much more of a fairy deck against control. I think you're more of a wizard deck when you play against combo and things like that. So you got a ton of counter magic here between Mana Leak, Negate, Remand, Disdainful Stroke, Dispel, Spell Pierce, and Wizard's Retort. We're up to what, 4, 8, 10, 11 counter spells plus Spellstutter Sprite and Snapcaster Mage. So I like that. We're up to 20 spells too. I guess not really because we brought in a Jace. So we kept our spell count for Delver the same. It's a little low in this deck, but you know, this looks good to me. I don't like Surgical against Snapcaster decks, so not going to bring that one in. Just going to try to get ahead because we were unable to do that in game 1. The search was a big deal for them. Not sure, like maybe they would have missed the land drop if I had done what I should have and countered that turn 3 visions. And that could have been pretty critical. Yeah, am I okay with this hand? Mutavault is a good card. 4 lands is a lot though, but it's sort of like 3 lands. P is a good card. It's just pretty slow, and slow is what they're trying to do, but it's so powerful that I'm willing to keep. This is a close hand. It looks fine. Like, it looks like a reasonable mix of stuff, but I really want to be aggressive in the early turns. There is a question of how I sequence these opening lands, opening turns. I don't think I'm attacking Mutavault on turn 2 because I want to Spell Pierce to search for Azcanta if that happens. And I don't think I'm going to Spell Pierce Serum Visions. So I'm just going to play a tap Steam Vents here. And I'll play Mutavault on turn 2 and maybe attack with it on turn 3 with Spell Pierce up. Do you have? No. Well, now we're definitely not attacking on turn 3. We have a Nimble Obstructionist that may get a fetch land, which would be neat. Ooh, are they assuming I have Blood Moon on the sideboard? Oh no, they have Opt. I'm gonna let this Opt resolve. I guess they have Opt and Serum Visions in their deck. That's a lot of cantrips for a Jeskai deck. They scry to the bottom. And I guess once I drew Obstructionist, I should have played a fetch land there. And I'm going to Mana Leak this. Even though Spell Pierce gets dead later, I think there's a chance I need it to be the 1 mana spell and use my mana early here. Okay. Yeah, I'll just pass the turn. Run this Obstructionist out on end step. They can't Helix it. They can Bolt or Path it. Do I have a basic? Oh, I do have a basic mount. Okay. Disappointing that I didn't get to get a fetch land. They only drew the 1 fetch land on turn 1. But it's fine. It's just a 3/1 flash. I'll force some action here. Looks like a lightning bolt. Okay, a braid. That's fine. So now I get to land this Pia and Kieran unopposed. And as long as they don't have a Supreme Verdict, an Electrolyze would be good. But I should have some pressure down, and I've got some counter spells to back it up. And opt to find more gas. So now we have gotten ahead. They don't have a source of card advantage yet because I counted the search. They're probably going to have to tap out for Teferi at some point. And my configuration post board is very good against people tapping out for Teferi. And gross. Wow. Well, everything has gone very badly. um, that was the worst like might be just the worst possible. Um, I'm gonna top that. Let's start attacking the Mutavault. I could get into trouble here. I should have attacked the Mutavault first. They have a Bolt and Bolt the Mutavault. Then like I don't have 4 mana to be able to. I guess then I'm not activating Mutavault. But the problem here with Staticaster is that it like one removal spell now takes away all of my pressure because it blocks one of the 2/2s. Also checks the spell starter spray. It just does literally everything. That was far and away the worst card they could have had. I do have 4 removal spells for it, but it's not great. Okay. Looks like they're not going for Teferi just yet. Still setting up with his visions. 2 cards on top. That's no bueno. I mean, I feel like I should have bottomed this mana leak. Another visions. So they know the top 2 cards. At least one of these will be kept on top. Oh, they put both on bottom? That's weird. So they decided they didn't want. Okay, they must have like made a mistake, I guess. At least what they thought was a mistake. So I'm in an awkward spot here because I need to attack with Mutavault in order to get anything through. And, ooh, that is a good draw. Okay, let's a Lightning Bolt. Is it Staticaster? If they have like a Logic Knot to try to protect it, we can Mana Leak that. Or Remand it even. Oh, they have Dispel. I really just want to remand my own Lightning Bolt and hold off on attacking for a turn, because that's just the most mana efficient play. Yeah, I'm in for that. We missed out on 2 damage, but we get an extra card. They're on 3 cards here, and now they're really incentivized to tap out for a Teferi, and they need untapped land and a second Dispel. Oh, and now we have another Bolt. In order to protect that Teferi from the Spell Pierce. Show them the business here. Okay, they blocked. As they should. Okay. So we'll see if we can nab a Teferi based on how we played this. Looks like no dice on that. Do I want to bolt here on my end step? That lets them like Cryptic to defend the Staticaster, which I don't really want them to resolve a Cryptic. If they do Cryptic me here, when I untap, I can pierce that and still have Mana Leak up. So I'm actually going to untap and use my mana a little inefficiently, because I really just don't want them to land a Cryptic and gain some card advantage. Snapcaster Mage. That's rough. That would have been very good. I mean, it still is really good, because it trades with the Piankirin. And it's not like I can Spell Starter Sprite the Dispel. They can Staticaster kill the Sprite with the trigger on the stack, and then I won't have 1 fairy. Now I really want to hold the second Bolt for the Snapcaster, so I think I have to Mana Leak this, which I'm not super happy about. Yep. So they're getting their card advantage here because of Snapcaster. Mana Leak the Dispel. Yeah, and we know they have 3 spells in hand. They just missed a land drop. They're still at 11. The Staticaster is just all sorts of problems. Helixing my Pia and Kieran. Honestly, I just don't think I can let this resolve. If they have Teferi plus removal spell, which is what it'll take to defend it from these 2 attackers and Lightning Bolt, then, you know, good on them. And if I draw a land, I can protect from any 1-mana removal spell. So, yeah, I don't think I can let them gain this life. I get to use the Spell Pierce, which is nice. It will eventually become dead, but I am a little vulnerable here. Yeah, I don't want to make this trade yet. If I can, I'd like to bolt that and start attacking with the Pia and Kieran. Bolt the Snapcaster. I draw a land here. Okay. Let's get to bolting the Snap. And now, okay, no Cryptic Command, that's good. And I'm going to hold up Spell Stutter. Would not be surprised to see a Lightning Bolt. That's what I thought. Is your last card another removal spell? Is this just a shortcut crack fetch? Seems like it would be if they had a spell. Yep, okay. Excellent. So now they have 1 card in hand. It's not very good. What could it be? Maybe they wanted to hold up. No, like Teferi, they would have landed the previous turn. Like Secure the Wastes. I feel like they would have cast that one for like 4 there. Spell Snare they would have cast. Logic Knot, Cryptic Command they would have cast. Any removal spell, any Snapcaster Mage, any cantrip they would have cast at least on their turn if it's sorcery. Is it some 6-mana Planeswalker? There's got to be something I'm missing here. Maybe it's Supreme Verdict? Yeah, figured it out. Okay, well, Verdict's pretty good for them. They are at 8, and I do still have this Mutavault coming in. And a spell starter to protect it from removal. And while Mutavault is active, spell starter will counter a 2-mana spell, so it'll counter Snapcaster Mage or Lightning Helix or Abrade, which is cool. So it looks like we might just be barely getting there. We don't have a lot of reach left in the deck. We've gone through 2 Lightning Bolts, although I haven't seen a Snapcaster yet. So 2 more bolts and 4 Snapcasters, 6 reach spells. Okay, another land. Happy to see that. And is this a pass? Okay. Flip, please. No, I will not reveal that. So now I can counter a 3-mana spell, but only if I don't activate Mutavault. What the 3? I'd be worried about Electrolyze. That's the big one. I think that's the only one I'd be really worried about. So I'm just gonna get in there. Getting them to 3 here is pretty valuable. Now they're in bolt range and Delver flip range or Mutavault plus spell stutter. So I might run one of these spell stutters out on the end step just so I beat a removal spell. I guess I beat a removal spell anyway by just countering it. So yeah, why don't we just wait on that? Oh, that was a good one. Reveal. And now, okay, they just concede to that bolt. So seemed like some probably not great draws there at the end, but Their draw otherwise was fine. They just didn't find a source of card advantage after I countered the search. And the Staticaster really did a number on me. So um, that one almost like is why the game went long. But P and Kieran was still able to get through it. I drew a bunch of bolts, which was great. Maybe I want to bring in like another Wizard's Lightning, because I know they have Staticaster. Usually they only have one though. So I don't really think I want to bring in a bunch of them. I have 18 creatures now. Like I guess it's possible that I want to like bring out one of the 3-mana creatures that just sort of die, especially Obstructionist on the draw that probably isn't going to cycle to hit anything and just trades 1 for 1 for a spell that costs less mana most of the time. But I do like having flash threats. I'm going to try it. I'm going to bring in 1 more bolt on the draw. Maybe they have 2 Staticasters or something. Killing that card immediately is just so important, because it really just grinds any offense I have to a halt. Sand does not have any pressure. It might be hard to land this Jace, but if we do, it's great. And we do have Opt to dig for a creature to buy some time. I would love a Vendilion Click to like set up on the end step, but I'm going to keep this. A little worried about turn 2 as Kanta again when they're on the play. Because then this is a card that frees up their mana for the rest of the game to just interact, and then eventually they flip, and they usually have extra mana at that point to start activating it. Snapcaster Mage is not a bad one. That is a 3-mana threat because of Opt. I love Opt so much. Makes Snapcaster Mage so much better. Okay, Noah's Kanta is nice. And a turn, play an Opt. I'm gonna keep this. I just want to be threat heavy. I'm gonna sort of be a Haymaker-y deck, I guess. I would love it if they gave us something to Mana Leak, but I doubt that's gonna happen here. Yeah, Land Go is the name of the game. And we are gearing up for a longish one. Ooh, Mutavault's a good one. And guarantees our 4th land for next turn. Okay, this will likely get a Hallowed Fountain. Oof. How clairvoyant am I? And we continue making land drops. Okay, now the action starts. Opponent has not fixed their draw at all, just drawing, making land drops. Do you have a counterspell or want to counterspell my Snapcaster Mage? Excellent, they don't. Now I'll get to Opt. If they don't do anything here, oh, they do. Okay. Helix is fine. Okay. I will cast this Opt. A little worried now of Logic Knot. That's a card they might have cut. Do I want another land? I kind of do want more lands because I've got these 4-drops and counter spells. If I go for a threat here, it'll definitely be the Pia and Kieran. Yeah, it would definitely be the Pia and Kieran. That way, like, Teferi would be awkward. They'd have to have removal spell plus Teferi plus 5th land. You know, which could certainly happen. And or do I want to play it safe here? I could dig for like another Opt or a Lightning Bolt of some kind, so I could play this other Snapcaster aggressively on the end step and get 1 more turn to try to force some action and maybe make more land drops. But I'd have to make 5th land drop and have Spell Pierce or Dispel to defend one of these. So I don't think that's actually going to happen. I do think I have to just not play around Logic Knot. That seems like a card that they would cut. Because they want the removal, they brought in Dispel. It's probably their worst counterspell because it's more expensive. And if that's the case, I'm just going to bottom this. Remand. Okay. I am just gonna get the mountain. Am I? No, I don't think my. I want a bunch of blue mana. I have so many blue cards. I don't think my life total matters. So I have P and Kieran. We'll get to an interesting question if they untap and verdict me. Do I try to land Jace and have it die to and be open to Teferi? Or do I hold up these counter spells? I might just start attacking the Mutavault and holding up counter spells, but that gets sketchy against Dispel. So some interesting decisions here to be made. Okay, Anger, similar. It's actually better than, okay. Well, that makes up my mind. Now I get to V-click and see what's going on and hold up a 2-mana counter spell all at the same time. That was an excellent draw. And Anger, another card they likely brought in out of the board. I just don't think they have Logic Knot in their deck. Okay, let's cast Vendilion Click. If they Cryptic, I'll remand my own Click. Yeah, not surprised that they don't Cryptic. I wonder if I need to target myself. These mana leaks are going to end up being bad at some point, right? But I just want to see what's going on. The information is so valuable. And they did just miss a land drop, so... Okay, let's crack a fetch and mana leak this Electrolyze. Definitely want to use these mana leaks while I can. Remand will stay relevant later in the game if they have counter spells or just cycling. Okay, they do not have a Dispel or a Logic Knot. Probably just another removal spell here. But if I could take a Teferi from their hand, have them tap out for removal, and just lay on the Jace, then I'm going to run away with the game. Yeah, another Bolt, and it's red removal that they could use to kill Jace. Yeah, and their hand is just 3 removal spells. I am a little wary because one of them is red, but I think I have to leave them. I think I leave them with the Helix and +2 on them. Normally, I'm a proponent of +2ing on myself. If I draw a land, I'll +2 on myself because then I get to Jace with a counterspell up, and they can't double burn spell without leaving themselves open to mana leak. So if I draw a land, I'll +2 myself. If I don't, I'll +2 them to try to ensure I get to untap with the Jace. But I definitely want to leave them with all these cards. Yeah, they just have all 1-for-1 removal. And Jace is, ooh, there is a land, and it's a good one. So now I get to just Jace +2 on myself, and I am sitting pretty. I am the one with the counter spell. I'm the control deck now. Remand, I think, is best on the bottom, actually. I already have enough counter spells. I just want to find pressure. I wonder if my best bet is to try to win this game with +2ing Jace, but that's rarely the case. Okay, so they draw Serum Visions. That would have been an awkward one to see on their +2. I would have had to bottom it and then not known the top card. They leave both on top, so I assume they found a Burn Spell or a Snapcaster. Ooh, a Spellstutter Sprite. Let's draw 3 cards. And yeah, let's just shuffle some lands away. I don't think I want to send Mutavaults into removal spells. Mutavault also helps Spellstutter a lot. No play from them. Now they search for Azcanta. So I know they have Helix Path. I really want to Spellstutter this. And I can counter whatever the second removal spell is. So Let's animate this Mutavault. And then Spell Stutter Sprite. So they're going to kill something in response. That's fine. They'll use its ability, get another land. Ooh, I'm out of basics though. Should have been more wary of that. And now we'll do this. And they're going to Helix and we're going to counter it. And they did this sort of in the wrong order. I get to counter the one I wanted to counter. And I'm just going to mana leak it. Yeah, I want to get the Helix out of their hand and stop worrying about what they could have. So now we know they have Blessed Alliance. Okay, yeah, they're done. We have successfully beaten their all removal draw with our Planeswalker, which is, you know, how you do it. Creature lands, Piankir Nalar, Jace the Mind Sculptor, all great against 1-for-1 removal. Both games 2 and 3, our opponent was just unable to stick a source of card advantage. They only drew the one search both games. I countered it both times. I mean, I would have had counter spells for Teferi as well. That would have been a hard card for them to land. It really just was the point where they were very aggressive in using their removal on my creatures, and that opened up the window for me to land Jace. Like they especially using the Lightning Bolt on Vidillion Click immediately. And after I saw their hand, you know, they can hold up there. I guess I would have taken Lightning Bolt, you know, or Lightning Helix. Maybe that changes things. But they used their red removal very aggressively, left themselves with only one in hand, and the Jace just ran away with the game. Probably not a card that they were really expecting out of my deck. I play mostly instant speed with cheap threats, but the one Jace in the sideboard is for exactly matches like this, and it gives you that other angle. And it blew up exactly what their plan was, which would have been a perfectly fine plan in game 1, but it did not work here in game 3. And Jace the Mind Sculptor does what it does. Card is probably underrated right now. You know, it didn't do what we expected it to do, but still a pretty good card. It's a solid role player in Modern. You know, Modern's a powerful format. Hard for 4-mana cards to see a lot of play, and this one does. It meets the barrier. It just isn't busty-wusty like it was in 2011 in Standard. So, good job, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Good job, Fairies. I definitely like playing against control decks usually with decks like this, but Jeskai is just super powerful and proven capable of winning matchups like this, especially with cards like Electrolyze and Lightning Helix and Anger of the Gods. So, definitely not a gimme matchup by any means, and I was able to take it down playing some interesting games. So hope you enjoyed that one, and you can come back and see me on Wednesday. Bye.